So let's go actually to Thunderstash's topic here. I just finally looked at it in the doc. Hell of a topic, and I definitely want to hear Favlam and Kiwi talks on this one.
Okay, good. Well, you guys can kick us off then. So this is about our gaming plans for 2026. I think a week or two ago we talked about our New Year's resolutions as far as gaming's concerned, but this is like our actual plan. Like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna hit the backlog? We're going to try to play one game at a time until we beat that game without moving on to something else. We're going to maybe dive into a new IP that we've never played, like Prime. You were talking about diving into Dragon Quest this year.
Yep.
And what better time than the 40th anniversary? It's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on. Maybe limiting the total games you play, right? Quality over quantity, aka the Nintendo difference. You guys remember that? During the GameCube marketing era. So stuff like that, right? What are you guys' plans? And Kiwi or Favlam, one of you guys, whoever's prepared for this.
I'll start because I do have a thing I've been wanting to do. I really got to kick competitive games. I love them, but god damn, they are such a time sink, and it's usually detracting from other things. The big one for me is Valorant. I love it. It's fun, but every match is like 30 to 40 minutes. I love Marvel Rivals. It's fun, but it's just like, again, it's just those things that it's like, it is such a time sink to get to a like good at those games and like be at a point of like, okay, I'm happy with how much I've progressed in them. And I think I want to take more time to sit and like kind of digest either my backlog or games maybe I've gotten into and I haven't finished, or I've streamed them and I maybe haven't finished them on stream, like kind of just like doing individual streams where I'm like, all right, let's just go ahead and all right, I got halfway or I got 2/3 of the way through Prime 4. Okay, let's finish that out. Okay, I got this far into this game. Let's try and finish that one out. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of like games I'm like super excited for going into 2026 though. I know it's not quite on topic, but like I know GTA 5 is supposed to become, or GTA 6, excuse me. I don't know. I like GTA. I'm not like the biggest GTA head. I'll play it. I'll probably get it, but I'm not like sitting here like I can't wait. Oh my god. Hopefully maybe a 3D Mario, but yeah. Otherwise, it's just kind of like rolling with what comes out and trying to grab what's on my Switch too, and seeing how many more games I can kind of just play a little bit before I go to bed and pop it on my Switch too.
It's a good game plan, man.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has that problem with competitive games and being just kind of addicted to them.
Yeah, that's why I don't really do it anymore. Right. I just can't afford to time-wise.
Yeah.
Like I want to play NBA 2K like I used to.
Right.
Actually, before I reviewed games, when I was still a director at Lone Depot, I'd be on 2K like all weekend playing online. And it's very fun. But now that I actually review games, this is what I do. I can't do that, which is weird, right?
Right.
You'd think I'd be able to play it more now, but that's definitely not the case. So that's why I stay away. I stay away from that. I stay away from Animal Crossing. I downloaded the update for Michaela. I reminded her that at 10 p.m. Arizona time, our time,
right,
you can download that Switch 2 update that you already paid for. So I'm gonna, experience that vicariously through Michaela, but I can't do it myself because, again, I don't have time.
Time is such a precious commodity, right?
Yeah.
And like every time you invest your time into something, it's always at the expense of something else. So it actually comes with a lot of sacrifice, right? So if you get into some hardcore competitive game, that you're going to be sacrificing something else to make that happen. Like a lot of people don't realize these gaming journalists and these people that have to do reviews, They're like, oh, that's the best job. I'm like, nah, man, that's stressful because they've got
a
like
lot
a
of
certain
time.
deadline where they have to review a game by. So they might be rushing the game. They might not be taking their time. They're just like, I got to beat this thing.
Right.
And it's just something important to
Very.
consider. I mean, the way I kind of view it, like, okay, I have this amount of time. What are the games that I can fit in that aren't going to kind of disrupt things too much? And I will say, like, the type of games that I'm into these days are way different from like 10 years ago.
Right.
Because one of the problems I have, especially with story-oriented games, is I can play it, right? I can get like 7 hours in, and then I don't get back to it for like 2.5 weeks. And by the time I get back to it, I'm like, wait, what's the story again? Who's this
Right.
character? What are they doing? I'm
I have
finding
to
I'm having
start
that
from
problem.
the beginning.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
that happens to me, I won't even continue.
Yeah, and it's very, very frustrating. Which is part of the reason, and Thunderstash, you'll be happy about this, because I've mentioned before I've never played a Final Fantasy game, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm looking to do Japanese interviews, and a lot of game devs are reaching out to me. There's like some potential sponsors that want to sponsor the interviews. They're like, oh, we really want you to do an interview with like some Final Fantasy developers, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to play these games then. Like, there's no escape.
Yes.
I just have to
Right.
do it now, right? So I mean, I downloaded the demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is pretty good. Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to play it, but I'm already worried because I'm like, okay, I do not have the time to play every single Final Fantasy game. So, Stash, you can give me an opinion of which are the best games to play to kind of get the idea of everything, because I will have to go down the rabbit hole somewhat. Because I'm not. If these interviews do happen, and I'm not sure if they will, but I have to be prepared, right? I do not want to go into an interview blindsided and have no idea. I mean, I'd be as prepared as possible, but it's different when you're like watching a gameplay video,
is.
like a walkthrough or playthrough, as opposed to playing it yourself. Two completely different things.
I would suggest for the 2D games, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on SNES, which
Okay.
some people will say it's 4 and 6.
Yeah, it's got the weird
which
naming
it
conventions.
is. They're both the same thing, but 2 and 3, 7, no doubt that is my favorite one. Many people's favorite. I would go with the remake ones. Obviously, there's remake on Switch 2, and then Rebirth is already
Rebirth will
out.
be coming. Yep.
Yeah, I put I think about 250 hours into Rebirth, and it was worth
what
every
the
minute
hell?
of it. And I don't do that. I don't do that. And by the way, you do not need to play it that long.
Yeah, no.
I was
Well,
going
I
for
saw-
the
saw-
platinum, the 100%.
I think there's like in the Switch 2 version, and it's probably the same with Xbox as well. There's like a new version or like a story version which condenses everything down so you can get the gist of the story, but like you're maxed out on health or something. I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that in the demo version.
If you're pressed for time, that might
yeah.
not be a bad option.
Yeah,
You know,
because
but-
I think that would give me the general idea of what the game is. Still
Yeah.
enjoying it, while still enjoying the story, but like condensing it a little, so it's
a very
bit
good story.
easier. Yeah,
It's a very memorable story and cast. One that sticks with you. I mean, literally, I played it on PS1 when it released, and that's like something that has stuck with me. 20
Yeah.
7
That-
years later.
Booting up remake, like, it's one of the rare experiences where like you're like moved by it. Well, not that I haven't been moved by games in the past, but because it was so special back then, and like just hearing that soundtrack again and seeing how they fleshed out some of the characters, like, oh my gosh, Eris in these reimagined versions of 7 is so amazing. Like, they did such a good job with her character. Even Barrett, the crush. But yeah, you got to play Maurice. And I hate to throw back to the first topic, but you hear anything about a Final Fantasy 9 remake or anything like that? I have to ask because there was the NVIDIA leaks. Is this
That's
the what
true.
the fuck game?
I don't know
PlayStation
shit,
game.
man. I don't know. I don't actually know a lot about Square Enix.
Okay.
I don't have like Square Enix and Sega are probably like the two big ones in Japan that I don't really know much about. I recently got a new source, so I could probably find out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to
I'll
say.
see what I can do. But that would be something I would DM you privately. That's not something I would announce publicly.
Of course.
But in terms of competitive games, I don't really play competitive games. I just don't have the time now. The only game I really play online is Smash Brothers, and that's about it.
What do we mean? Who you mean?
Samus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I know that's like the lamest answer, but yeah, Samus and probably Link.
Which one?
My two best.
Yeah.
Which version?
Adult Link. Yeah, good question. Yeah, those are the two mains that I have. In terms of, I mean, as I said on Twitter, right, most of the games I'm excited for on Switch 2 are third party. Nothing on the Nintendo front really does anything for me yet. That could change. But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 9, because I do like Resident Evil. I just haven't played RE2 yet. That's the one I haven't played because I'll be sweating so much as I play it. But yeah, Resident Evil 9, GTA 6, obviously. I'm actually really excited for Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
You know, we played it, right?
No.
Yeah, we all played it. We had a meeting with
When was
Pearl
this?
Abyss.
I played
We
3
played it
hours
at
PAX.
total, I think, between everything.
PAX West. We had a private meeting with them.
Holy crap! Really?
We got to
Wow.
play
Wow.
it for an hour.
Yep.
It was in the middle of the game. I have a video up on my channel with all of our gameplay.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And then I narrate a good portion because actually there's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn in this game, but once like we've all said it, this is no, it's not bad. We've all said it. Like this is a game that you need to play from beginning to end. Like don't have these long lapses where you don't play or don't start another game. Just learn it, love it, play it to the end. That's the way to go because the controls they're not bad. They're just different. Like the combat in the game is like doing like Street Fighter fighting inputs.
Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I've never experienced a game of this style that controls this way. And there are moments that once it clicks, it's just brilliant. It feels like one of the most skillful games of this style out there where skill can matter. But I also talked about this at the time too. It's in one of the videos. I don't know if it was mine or Stash's, but basically that the one problem I have with it is it's like they had this really amazing combat in-depth system and they just kind of blanket applied it to everything we played. So like just picking up a flagpole to stick it into a hole would be like the most complicated thing ever and not at all fun. So I remember telling them, hey, for instances like that where it's not additive, you can just make it a single button. It's okay.
There were inputs that were a little bit over. Like for example, like to talk to an NPC, it would be like right or like left trigger, left bumper, triangle to talk to an NPC.
So it has too many button inputs. It
has a lot of button inputs.
Yeah, not an intuitive control scheme. Yeah.
I agree with Prime. I think the combat, we started like middle of the game, so there were so many combos. It clicked after a while, and the team was amazing to help out. We're pretty intuitive, and when we were kind of confused, but they're like, oh, it bleeds all these different combos slowly. Like you don't get them all at once. Which would have been a huge help. I think the only area that needed refinement was what Prime said. I think some of the basic stuff out of combat, like talking to an NPC or getting on a horse, they could simplify. It doesn't need 3 or 4 buttons for those.
Okay. Well, I look forward to playing it on Switch too.
Yeah, but it's a pretty game, and the boss fight was a lot of fun that we all got to play.
Yeah. That was.
Okay, that's cool. And the other one I'm excited for is Halo remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably. But I know there's other third parties that I can't really talk about.
I'm not gonna let this go. Did you just confirm Crimson Desert for Switch 2?
Maybe.
He like looked straight in the camera when he did it.
No, he
too.
really did. He was clip farming. Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, hold up. Wait a second. Technically, GameStop was the OG league for it. but
Wow.
I'm just saying. He said it. He's not going to say it again.
It's a Prime exclusive, chat. It's a Prime exclusive.
Listen, I love the idea of Crimson Desert coming to Switch 2 because of Nintenbyte podcast. Because when we were there, and right before we got interviewed, we asked, "Is it coming to Switch 2?" Like our audience is really interested in this, and the guy was like, "Really?" Like surprised, like, "Oh, really? Switch 2 players are going to be interested in this?" Yeah, so I love to think that like
when did you speak to them, by the way? How long ago was this?
PAX West.
PAX West.
Like
so
August,
that's
September.
Was it last
August 30th,
Like Labor Day weekend. Or I
September
guess
1st.
U.S. Labor Day weekend.
It was that Sunday, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
was
trying to
September
work out when you spoke to them as to when I heard about this, as to the timeline and everything. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Cool.
This
Good
is
talk.
awesome. Day and date? Oh, you said this year. I was going to assume it's day and date. All right. Dude, this is wild.
I'll have to gap it in about 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crimson Desert's coming out soon. I spoke to them recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out.
No, I totally believe you. You
March.
were
Yeah, March 19th, but I'll be playing it
hopefully soon.
hopefully
On your
about
Switch
6 weeks
2?
here. Not to my knowledge. I don't know. I don't think it's day and date. But if it is, that would be a great Nintendo Direct announcement.
That was Crimson Desert.
That'd be a killer Direct announcement in February.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll say this, that depending on the publisher, Nintendo sometimes likes to announce certain third-party games in their directs, as opposed to getting the publisher to announce them themselves. So there are times, I think it was it Chronos that just got announced in a direct? It didn't get announced beforehand, right? So that's a good example. So you'll see that with the next direct, I'm pretty certain. I don't know this for sure, right? I don't go around trying to find info in directs. I know some people are like, oh, these are the dates that the directs is happening, and this is going to be in the direct and stuff. Just connecting dots, I would assume that certain third-party games will be announced in this coming one.
Excited?
Like a Crimson Desert.
So it's a partner showcase direct. Got it. Okay. You heard it here first.
Maybe.
Dude, I am going to be so hyped when it actually gets revealed for Switch 2 officially. Like, I played this. Here's the thing. I played it at PAX East, and I thought it was gorgeous. And I did the most difficult boss fight, of course, right away, because that's what I always do at these events. When they tell me one's the most difficult one, that's what I'm going to go do. And it was kind of frustrating. The controls were extremely frustrating because it would tell me to do the thing on screen, and I'd feel like I hit the button when it told me to do it, and it didn't do anything. And the reps there were trying to help, but they could just really tell I was having a hard time grasping things. And I was like, man, this game looks so good.
It does look really
I don't
good.
like how it plays. And then I get to PAX West and we get this hour session, and I was like, wait, this is the same game? Hold up. I could actually figure this out. I just need a moment. Oh, hey, this is actually kind of badass.
If the game is fundamentally sound, like if most of the design and everything's intact, changing the control scheme is probably one of the easier things to do towards the end. Especially if you're taking something that's a complicated control scheme and you're taking something and basically assigning it to a button as opposed to like 3 different inputs. that would be a lot easier. And I've actually heard this a lot where devs refine their control schemes at the end. Interestingly enough, Nintendo does the opposite. They refine their control scheme first.
Right.
Yep.
And then move on to everything else. That's one of the things that they focus on first.
Like Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Interestingly enough, though, Nintendo has some pretty strange control schemes sometimes.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. Like Breath of the Wild wasn't like jump, like the default. If I remember, default, it's X is jump.
Yeah.
And then B is sprint on the default, which is wild, but
yeah.
No
so
pun intended.
I did a review of Donkey Kong Bonanza with two developers that worked on Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. And one of the designers pointed out that he didn't think that the control scheme was very good. It wasn't very intuitive, and he had a lot of problems with it. But with that being said, I did ask him, I'm like, were you playing other games while you were playing this? And he's like, yes. And I said, well, that might be why. Because if you're playing multiple games at the same time, then you get used to a control scheme and then you're going off. And then depending on what the game is, it can kind of mess up your whole idea in your head of what the control scheme is like if you're going back and forth. So usually when I play a game, I try to play just one game, stick to it, and then move on to the next one. Sometimes that's not always the case. But with like Metroid Prime 4, I basically, I was going on holiday, so I had like a week basically to bang it out. But that's another reason why I like the Metroid games is they're short. I think there's too many games these days where this is ironic though, where they pad out the game, and Metroid Prime 4 does this obviously. But yeah, like some of these big open world games, like 100, 250 hours, and I'm just like, dude, what the hell, man? Like that's like, how much of this stuff do you actually need?
Preaching to the choir, dude.
I'm with you. I think I missed the GameCube era of like games could be beat in an afternoon. Like if you like sat and it was like a 5-6 hour session. Like obviously,
I literally
it's nice to have more game, but like I don't know. Sorry, keep going.
No, for Vlam, I love what you're saying right now. I love that you referenced the GameCube, Eric. I literally talked about this on the podcast a while back, that we need more short games. Like I miss the time of like the 10 to 25 hour game. And I don't think there's less value there. I'm happy to pay full price for a game that has no padding, has a phenomenal story or phenomenal tight gameplay. There's so many amazing games that fall in that 10 to 30 hour range. Like not everything needs to be 100 hours, 200 hours. And that doesn't mean better either. There's a lot of games that are worse for that. So
yeah, I agree. But there's some sort of thing where price and time are kind of like this big thing. If you're paying $70 for a game, then it needs to be this amount of hours. And I guess I understand why some people think that, but yeah, I'm personally not for it.
So some people, I always heard the $1 per hour thing, and I'm like, I don't know. That's not always. I don't think that's always true and should be true, especially because like I think you could have a very high quality product that is short at a $60 price point. Like I don't know. Like I think Dread's a great example of that. I know Dread was still not a short game. It was shorter than in compared to a lot of Nintendo games at the time. So it's like, you know,
I think if you're gonna sit there and argue that the amount of time is what that it takes for you to complete the game is what dictates what the value should be, then those people should be praising the Crystal Hunt in Soul Valley. They should be praising the Triforce Quest. My favorite Zelda game is Wind Waker. I'll tell you firsthand, the Triforce Quest is the worst part of that game, and they could have cut that out, done something else that's a lot shorter, and the game would have been better for it. So you have to be able to sit here and say that if they didn't do that Triforce Quest, it wouldn't have been worth the money. Yeah, you have to be rooting for that stuff. You got to be rooting for
Triforce Quest out of Wind Waker, and I think it'd be like one of my top 3 Zelda games. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my number one Zelda, but
I've never replayed Wind Waker primarily because of that Triforce Quest, because I hate it so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just refuse to play it again.
But it would have been worth the money otherwise, guys. It would have been worth it.
Yeah.
If they got rid of it.
I mean, I guess maybe these game studios sit on a lot of data, and they look at the data and then they try to correlate that, I suppose, into some sort of pricing model. I know Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, he said that games should be charged per hour, so like $1.
Yeah, that philosophy, which is
$1 an hour.
Not a fan.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had a 200-hour game, it would be a $200 game.
I think it's nuanced because it's like, I don't know. That's also saying, like, let's apply that to any other medium, right? It's like, if I'm gonna get a TV show, I should have a bajillion seasons of The Office if I'm gonna do whatever. But then you could also watch one season of Pluribus and it's like just as good, if not better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you could still make a quality thing in less time, or even like a movie, right? It's like, okay, a movie. There are a million movies that are better than TV shows and TV shows just take up the amount of time. So at that point, you're just making content, not making art, in my opinion. But I'm going to say something controversial here. Say it.
I don't think over the last year, a lot of these Nintendo games that are like $70 now, I don't think they are $70 games. Like, I don't think like the newest Yoshi game should be $70. Like a lot of these B tier Nintendo games should be $70. Yeah. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, 100%. Right. I don't even think Prime 4 should be $70, to be honest. No.
I can't believe the tennis game's 70. Can I say that? I can't believe Tennis Fever is going to be 70 bones. It looks like a great game. It looks like they finally listened to us. It looks like it's going to be a good sports game. $50 max, man. Come on. I'm not spending $70 on a tennis game. I don't know. It's just me. Sorry. I thought it was in line with what you were saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, they just have this idea that every game is $70 or possibly $80 in the case of Mario Kart. Right. And I'm just not... I don't know, man. I mean, it feels like Nintendo haven't... if you're going to pay $70 for a game, then I think you have to hit a home run with it. And I don't think... Yeah. I mean, last year, besides from Donkey Kong Bonanza, I guess Mario Kart, you get a lot of hours out of it, right? So I maybe let that slide. But stuff like, Hyrule Warriors, that's a $70 game. I don't think that should be $70. And the Mario Tennis is going to be $70. And is Tomodachi Life going to be $70?
I don't think we know, but I'm sure you could assume. The new Pokopia is going to be $70 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's an Animal Crossing clone, which is just, I don't know. Anyways, Prime has his hand up.
Yeah.
It's his show.
Oh, well, first off, it ain't my show.
I'm just fucking. I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. Okay. That being said, what I wanted to point out, I'm gonna put my Furukawa hat on, and just go with this when it comes to how we price games here at Nintendo. You see, no one complained when we were doing $60 games on GameCube, Wii, etc. Back when we were only paying a few $1 million to make a game. Then the industry decided, hey, that's not enough money to spend on games. Let's make that 15 million, 50 million, 100 million. And still charge the same price that we previously were charging for games we only spent a few million to make. Why do we need to follow the industry trends? We're actually doing the same thing. We're spending more on games today and charging less.
Not necessarily, though, because you now have to pay for online. You pay for Amiibo now that went around during the GameCube and Wii era, and they're locking things behind Amiibo. Sure, yeah.
That's a way of compensating for the fact we should be charging more for our games.
But also, they have their own digital storefront where they make 100% of the profit on the game anyway. So that kind of offsets the cost. I understand what you're saying, but I still don't think that completely justifies it.
Well, cost is associated to value, And if we value our IP the same way we've always valued them, why should it matter what we spent to make the game?
Well, what is it? Pokemon cost 10 million, and that's like a $70 million game, and then you've got like Metro Prime 4 that's like 100 million, and it's still $70. Yeah. But I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I think Metroid would be a much bigger IP if it was cheaper.
Yeah, and they need to get people.
I think,
but blowing money on Metroid, I agree. Cut the budget.
I think, yeah, like Dread is a great game, but I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, I am not paying like $60 for a 10-hour 2D game when for like, what, $20 or $30 I can get Hollow Knight that's like 20 to 30 hours and this is what people are saying is a better game or more refined game. Yeah. And like that's just the way the industry is. I mean, look, the fact that they charged $80 for Mario Kart because they knew that they could. And not to circle back to GTA 6, but I imagine that like if GTA 6 launches at $80 or $90, the industry is going to get the wrong idea from this, and then everything will become like that. And I also think that's a case of self-sabotage if you go too high, particularly when we're living in an economic crisis, cost of living and everything. I just think you worsen your potential sales, particularly in Nintendo's case, because they do have a younger base and parents aren't going to be able to afford this necessarily. There are games like Mario and Pokemon, I mean, they'll just sell no matter what. But I think some of their other IP suffer as a result of that. I don't think it's a one size fits all.
I agree. I think more of that, even though it causes confusion, that variable pricing. I was hoping that a game that Favlam brought up, Mario Tennis, would be an example of variable pricing and maybe would come in more, at least like $60 would have been nice. Because I think this one looks really good. I think it looks really fun. I think the hope is that this is the one that they're kind of back in the game and making a good Mario sports game again. But history has shown, at least the last few entries have been a bit lackluster. So I think just putting it at that premium price point, people are going to look at like maybe Mario Tennis Aces and be like, I'm not spending 70, even if it's better, even if it offers more.
Like, I agree with the way that they don't drop their prices. I actually think that's a good model to have, because then you end up in the spot that Ubisoft is in, where people don't buy their games day one because they know in like 3 months it's going to be like 40% off, right? And you can just wait. So, and they're in a pickle now because they've trained their consumers to wait, right? So, but I think having a normal price from day one, like I think Metroid Prime Remastered was reasonably priced. Do you think?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Prime.
Yep.
I think it was priced well. I don't like that they shadow dropped a game like that. I think that's madness.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I agree. But Nintendo and Metroid, when it comes to marketing, has always been bad. Prime 4 just continued that trend.
Yeah, true. I want to build on the point you made about like, I think when you have such a premium ticket price on so many of these things, the console itself, the games, whatever, you start to see the smaller games are the IPs that aren't like system movers per se. You start to see people cut those from their library. And I, as a streamer, and also a lot of my peers in the streaming space, who would do a lot of like Mario Kart lobbies, like on the Switch one with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? A lot of people, you would fill that lobby up, it'd be great, whatever. So we get Mario Kart World day one, we played it. It's like a lot of creators have it, but not a lot of like a lot of our just regular chatters have it, right? And we noticed over the months, like some people got it, but there's still a big chunk of folks. It's not a common thing to have Switch 2 and to have, like, it hasn't been selling it like gangbusters right now. And and it was even more apparent with Kirby Air Riders. A lot of people are passing on Air Riders because even if they did have a Switch 2, they're saying, well, I have Mario Kart already. I already spent $80 on that one. And then I've just noticed this, that like the more and more of these games, I think people are getting kind of fatigued at these big ticket prices. And it's like people are sacrificing. They're saying, well, I got the big titles already. I'm not spending the extra dough on the tennis game and the other side ones that would be very fun, but they're not the big Donkey Kong. They're not the big Mario Kart, you know? So yeah, something I've noticed in my space.
I mean, what was it? Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and that was like full price.
Yeah, insanity.
It's like, come on, man. That's a game from 2010.
Right.
Yeah.
Galaxy 1 and 2, I could at least understand a bit because they're like some of the best games of all time ever.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, at least put them up for like at least six. Just do 60. You know, I don't know, but stuff like that. Anyways, but on that note, I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead. You want to continue on?
I was just gonna say, like, Reggie was the one that convinced Iwata and Japan to include Wii Sports as a pack and right because they wanted to charge that separately. I think if Reggie was still in OA, some of this stuff would have been discussed heavily and the pricing would have been different. What is it? Welcome Tour? That 100% should have been
a pack in.
A pack in demo. Like,
these companies need to relearn the concept of a loss lead. They need to learn they need to know the concept of the Costco $1.50 hot dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to bring them in. We can't just expect them to pay premium at all times.
Totally. But it is a supply and demand sort of thing as well.
Right.
Because
of course.
The fact that they only do this because they know they can get away with it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you are willing to pay $70 for every single Nintendo game, that's fine. But you're just going to ensure that keeps happening. And then eventually it'll go to 80 and 90. Right. I mean, I know Microsoft, what is it? They tried to charge, was it $70 or $80 for Outer Wilds? I think it was. And then it bombed and then they dropped the price. So.
Yeah, Outer Worlds too.
Nintendo did it with the 3DS. They couldn't sell the 3DS and they dropped the price on that. So it's happened before.
Yeah. And with the Wii U, right? They were offering like a free game with Mario Kart.
Nintendo did give me 20 free games.
Yeah.
And it's still on my 3DS for buying it full price. Yeah. So it was actually worth it.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, all these companies are the same. All they care about is money. If there's no point writing complaints on Twitter or like bombing their live streams or something during Treehouse saying drop the price, they don't care. They just look at numbers. So if you want this stuff to stop, then you just have to reduce how many Nintendo games you want to buy. Really, that's the only way to do it because that's all they care about.
But you yourself will not make a difference.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. And that's just a personal decision.
Sorry.
Yeah. I haven't bought Mario Kart yet because I'm like, no, I'm not paying $80 for Mario Kart. I don't think it's
you didn't get the bundle?
No, because I didn't want it. I look after I don't actually play Mario Kart that much. The only time I play Mario Kart is when I'm playing with people. My wife and I actually look after a lot of international students, predominantly from Japan. So we'll have like students from Osaka or Kyoto or something, and they come and live with us for like a month. And a lot of the time they can't speak English. But you mentioned Nintendo, and they're like, oh, Nintendo, yeah. You like Mario Kart? Oh, Mario Kart. So there's like a universal language there because you can put on Mario Kart and play with them. So that's a good way of bonding with them. So that's something I would look at doing, getting Mario Kart for that. Although I'm waiting for the DLC. If they include Samus and the viola in the DLC, boom. You have me.
You're cooking. Wait.
Yeah. So yeah.
On that note, fellas, I have to drop. This is a great job playing.
So do I.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thanks for having me on as always.
The goodbyes are always so awkward.
Go ahead and show it.
No, I suppose I'll shout myself out like I normally do. Favlam on YouTube. if you like to see a guy in front of a green screen talking about what he thinks about Nintendo or Deltarune, I'm your guy. And then I'm trying to stream more in 2026. That's like one of my goals. So yeah, but it's Favlam on everything: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. But YouTube is appreciated the most. And Kiwi, it was wonderful meeting you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
And I'll be disappearing as well. Thank you so much as always, guys. Stash, Prime, Eric,
Thanks, guys.
Gamebird.
Yeah.
It's always fun, and thank you for the chat. I can see that a lot of them disagree with what I'm saying. That's cool.
Yeah, what do they
It's
know?
all good. Yeah, it's all good.
What does this industry expert know? Whatever.
Yeah. I feel like I'm back on X again. No, but it's all love. But yeah, just a couple of things before I go. I will be doing a review of Metroid Prime 4 with the OG Prime devs at some point. I'm just waiting for them to finish the game.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
I've got interview, possibly 3 hours, with the lead designer of Eternal Darkness. So that's coming. I'm looking to do a review of the Super Mario Galaxy film with some Nintendo developers that actually worked on Mario. Besides from that, I don't think there's anything else Nintendo related at this stage. But yeah, there's some cool things I have on the horizon. And yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, if you ever want to interview the Game Bird, I'm here, man. I'm always down. I'm sure you've been dying to get me over there. I'm sure you have some crazy questions for me. I'm sure.
Well, I'm supposed to appear on your show, aren't I? What's happening with that?
I think that's true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. We'll make
We'll make it happen. Cool. All right. Well, much love, guys. Vlad,
Awesome.
nice meeting you as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for being
Thanks, gentlemen. See you around.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Cool. Who's next for gaming game plan?
I know it devolved, but I think that was good just
The
because
time tangent was great because he desperately wanted to throw Crimson Desert out there. You could,
Yeah.
he's like, look, I did Fallout last time. I got one more. Let's see what happens.
yeah, he's so fun to have on. He's a good time, Kiwi.
So you guys know my headliner tomorrow.
You're right.
The Nintenbyte exclusive. Okay. It is kind of neat though. He did do that 2 times in a row, this time quite intentionally. So all right. But for real, gaming game plan. Who's going next?
I could go. Yeah, I mean, I briefly mentioned this last time on the pod, but this is something that man, my backlog it eats at me. I'm always thinking about it. So I do want to have a better game plan this year. And I think really what that is, it's nothing too complicated, but it's just committing myself to certain series that I've wanted to play or that I've started but haven't finished, and being a little bit more conscious about what I play and what I don't play, because I definitely, guys, I love video games. At my core, I'm a Nintendo fan first, but I love all video games. And so I hate the FOMO. I hate missing out on the big games, and the games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the time between releases is getting smaller and smaller. I mean, we're in the first couple weeks of January, and we're going to be looking at our draft picks. We haven't had a single like mainline direct. We haven't had a big presentation from Sony or Microsoft yet, for that matter. I know we're getting a Microsoft one at the end of the month, but there's going to be so much more announced and released this year beyond what we know. So it's really going to be a matter of me being more disciplined and being like, you know what, I've got to make the sacrifice, and I'm not going to play this game this year. So that's something I've been really bad at, because I want to try everything. I want to play as much as I can. I love having opinions on things as well. So like, even if I could sink 10, 15 hours into something, just to have an opinion, I would have in the past. But I want to start with, I didn't get to finish the remake of Trails in the Sky. So that's like the first one that I think I'm going to jump into, probably start a new game, just to go in again with a fresh palette, play all the way through. It's a series that I love. We're getting a remake of the second game near the end of the year. So I want to be ready for that. And then, you know, I don't know. I never got to play the second Star Wars game, the Jedi Survivor. So that's one that I started. I never got to finish. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be making a list and then just dedicating myself to it and being like, I'm not moving on until I finish this, and just follow a strict list. And it's gonna be in order of desire, because I don't want to throw games on the backlog list just for the sake of I gotta play this or I gotta beat it. I think I'm gonna do it in an order of desire. 1 being the most desirable, 10 being the least desirable. Actually, I'm gonna make a smaller list than that. I'm gonna do like like the snowball effect, I guess. But I don't know. Do a small list, get through it, then be like, hell yeah, I conquered something. Now it's double it. But I don't know. What about you guys? I love RPGs. That's the hard part for me. Like, the games that I love so much are so friggin' long. They're so big. When I think of my backlog, it's just a fat list of RPGs. I still haven't gotten to play through Undertale, or Flavlan mentioned Deltarune. These are games that I think I'd love. I've never played them before. So there's just so much to play. So many indie RPGs that I missed out on. I replayed. I mean, last year I was proud of myself. I replayed Sea of Stars. I originally played it on the Xbox when it was on Game Pass, and then I purchased it physically for Switch and replayed through it on Switch. That way I could play Throws of the Watchmaker, which was phenomenal. But you have to beat the game to play the DLC. So yeah, lots of RPGs, guys. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think starting with a small list, maybe like 3 games or 5 games, get through that, then I could add another 3 or 5, or add a game every time I beat one. I don't know. Do you guys have recommendations? I feel like I'm just like throwing shit out there right now. I don't know
recommendations for what?
For like good habits to work on the backlog.
Yeah, of course. Play the game and beat it.
I need help. I'm in crisis.
Yeah,
just play it and beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, play it and beat it before you move on. I do agree with what you said. Like, I was shaking my head when you said it, which is play by desire. What do you desire most? But also don't go into analysis paralysis, because when you have a big backlog, that can happen, and then you don't play anything.
Yeah, you just stare.
You just stare. And then the time goes by. Then you're on social media, and before you know it, your window of opportunity is closed. So you have to know what you're going to play and attack it like relentlessly, and don't start something else until you're done.
Yeah, that's the discipline I need. It's discipline. Really, it's just discipline.
It is.
Thank God for the Switch. I will say thank God for Switch and Switch 2, because it really makes gaming easier for me as an adult. You know, everyone knows I'm a family man. I've got a wife and 3 kids. I work 2 jobs. One of them's a full-time job, and the other's a part-time job. I'm a busy dude. My time is limited, and you better believe that there's 3 kids fighting for the TV in the living room constantly. The Switch and the Switch 2 are a godsend for me. It's literally a match made in heaven. It allows me to let the kids have TV time, me be able to hang out on the couch and game with them, and game in my room and get into the backlog. The hard part is, because I love RPGs, you know, there's a lot of chatting and yapping in the house. And you know, when it's a story-based game, it could be like, you know what, maybe I'll put this down and play later.
Yeah. That makes sense. That'd be tough. What about you, Nate?
Me? Well,
yeah, you.
Obviously. God damn it. Look, I was glancing at this earlier, and I was like, man, this is actually pretty good stuff in here. This entire topic. You know, so I was kind of go a little piece by piece. You know, one of the things that Stashboard in here says, you know, the backlog reality check. Because, I mean, let's just be real. People keep adding games to their backlog. Some people are just never going to get to it, and sometimes just face the music. You're just not going to get to that backlog. Or do you have any plan for the backlog? And I'll be honest, I don't go to the backlog often. I'm usually a play, a beat it, done kind of person. But there's always games that you miss. There's always games you wish you had time to play at the time that you haven't. Like Final Fantasy VII was a big one for me that I wish I would have played and never did. Just never found the time to get back to it ever, until obviously Remake came along. So I would say, right now, obviously, big one for me is that I already own Dragon Quest 3 and 1 and 2, 2D HD, and haven't played them yet because I've never played a Dragon Quest yet because I just haven't gotten to it yet, even though it's been a while since Dragon Quest 3 2D HD came out, because that's the one I'm going to start with. So I definitely have a plan for that. I'm going to be starting that one this month. I don't know about when I'm going to get to 1 and 2. We'll see as the year progresses right now, because Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate coming up here, and obviously, we have Mario Tennis Fever, which I am buying at $70. I don't really care. Talking about $10, I bought Aces at 60. I'm not that concerned about 10 buckaroos. That said, it gets to this point of like, I think my goal is not to expand my backlog anymore. So don't buy anything that I don't think I'm actually going to play anytime soon. Because then I'll probably just never get to it. Because I'm always someone that, even in someone covers news, I'm always excited for like the next thing. And as Gamebird talked about in a prior topic, there's always that little bit of FOMO sometimes if you're not with the audience at launch. Because one of my favorite aspects of gaming has been community. And when you play a lot of single player games, especially, like you're only getting that, like that launch weekend, that launch week. And then it kind of goes away because it's single player, you play it and people move on.
You want to be a part of the conversation the weekend that it's happening. Yeah.
So that's my goal, is not to really add anything new to the backlog where I've pre-bought. I can always be like, oh, maybe if I ever get back to it one day. Let's just be real. I probably won't. Maybe when it comes back around as a remaster, because that's the era we live in, where everything gets remastered one day. Maybe I'll get to it then. So that's kind of how I'm going to handle that aspect. There was a question everybody said, what's the biggest backlog killer? New releases, review obligations, or FOMO? Obviously, for me, I don't have review obligations anymore, so it doesn't matter, because I reviewed a few games last gen and decided that's not for me. I didn't like how I was playing video games to hit deadlines. Not how I play games. It's just not. I like to play on my time, at my leisure, not the leisure of a deadline. Now, it's weird because I'll have that mindset when I'm playing demos. I want to get as deep into that demo as I possibly can, find every little thing, but that's at a demo, and it's always a shorter session. So I don't, I just try to make the maximum use of that session. But then, this next thing I like how Stash labeled that part 2, one game at a time versus a game hopper life. Let me read what he wrote here. Are we committing to finishing games or bouncing between titles? Does one game at a time improve enjoyment or make gaming feel like work? Who here is most guilty of starting 12 games and finishing 2?
Can I jump in really quick? Because I should have looked at the notes before jumping on this topic. I love this, Sash. This is amazing how you broke everything down. And Nate, thank you for going through this, because I missed it. I just want to jump in real quick, because what I was trying to describe was I've been living the game hopper life. It's exactly what I've been living. My goal is the series playthroughs. That's what I was trying to, describe through, starting with Trails 1. Trails 2 is going to be coming out. There's other games, Undertale and Deltarune. So I want to do a little bit more of the series guidelines, but this is really awesome. Yeah, game hopper. That's what I've been. Thank you for wording it that way. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Like, I'm not going to commit to either or, because for me, it varies per game. So, like, when a new Zelda comes out, that's all I'm playing, right? I'm one game at a time there. The new Mario comes, that's all I'm playing until I'm done with that game. But that's not how it is with everything. Like, I'm still technically playing Donkey Kong Bonanza right now while playing Age of Imprisonment. And the reason is, you talk about that grind life. I don't ever feel like I'm grinding, but I do feel like I have just a wide breadth of taste that I don't always want the same flavor nonstop. Like, you get vanilla ice cream, it's delicious. and always love it. But maybe today I want some chocolate instead. You want something a little different that particular day for whatever mood you're in or whatever stresses are going on. Because as you guys might know, there's quite a lot of stress, at least in my life. So sure, it's your guys' life too. So sometimes, hey, no, I'd rather just go play a Fortnite sesh with Yulia and chill for a couple hours and just not care and just have fun. Trash talking kids on the internet, apparently. No, to be fair, we're not actually talking to them. We mute the mics, but we're talking trash to them to each other. It's hilarious. So sometimes that's the kind of vibe I'm in. Lately I've obviously been diving deeper and deeper into Age of Imprisonment to finish that one off. But then randomly today I turned on Donkey Kong Bonanza because I just felt like getting back into DK. So the reason I think I could do both is when I talk about the game hopper life, it's only ever a few games. I can't throw a fourth, a fifth, a sixth in. It's just too much. But it's only ever a few games, so because it's so limited and they're usually different types of games, I can kind of get away with that. But again, then the one game comes and I'll set all that other shit aside until I'm done with that one game. And so, yeah, I don't really feel like I need to do too much to change that because it's kind of been working for me. Stopping the backlog and adding to the backlog was more of a bigger one. And then eventually, if there's not enough games, I usually just throw a backlog game in that I have still. No, I don't have any plans for the next one was like series playthroughs. Talking about like franchise marathons. Not really. I've never been one of those people that goes on like marathons before new games come out. That's usually when a lot of people like to do that. They like to go on a marathon of whatever games to the sequel coming out or something. Nah, I've never really been that kind of person, but this goes back to my varied taste. I can't just marathon. I want to play something different, some days. Then obviously I'll be doing these for fun or content. This is the quite interesting thing because I used to, and I still say sometimes to this day that my job is to cover games, not play games. But then we have this podcast. Now on this podcast, we always do a review discussion a week after a game comes out from Nintendo, which also means I need to be able to actually say something about that game a week later. So I am kind of pseudo doing reviews and now kind of playing games because we're going to be talking about it on the podcast. So now it's kind of become part of the job, I suppose, in some ways. So I would say there are definitely games I bought because we're going to be talking about them. But not all of them. I didn't get Kirby Air Riders at launch. I held fast on that I wasn't going to pick it up till this month. But yeah, I would say I'm all right there. Then you see what is it? Quality over quantity, the big debate. Like beat 10 incredible games or beat 50 games and move on. I think a lot of that just depends on how quickly the games are to beat. Like if it's like Metroid Prime 4, you can be like 10, 15 hours. Okay, you might be doing 30 games. It kind of just depends. But the problem is games are getting longer and longer. And if you look at like Crimson Desert and the stuff they're saying about the size of the world and everything, I might do that game is going to be like 1,000-hour game. It's giving me that vibe of being like 1,000-hour game. And I don't mean because it takes 1,000 hours to beat it. I mean, it's going to take me 1,000 hours to beat it. So like, okay, if I'm playing that it might just be one incredible game this year because there will be nothing else getting played most of my gaming time. So yeah, I would say personally, I'm actually going to lean more towards sample 50 and move on. And I'm saying that because that's one of the options he gave here. Is I don't know what I'm going to enjoy until I sample a wide variety of games. And that will usually lead me to the handful that I'm going to beat that year. But if I didn't do the sampling, I might not have found that handful. I don't always know everything I'm going to like. There are some games I'm now interested in from PAX West because I watched Stash play it and suggest it. Didn't even know that I would even be into that. So sometimes, I think it's good for me personally, just because I have such a wide variety of tastes that I want to sample the games more so than like not realize they existed and just beat 10 games I already know I'm going to like. But I'll tell you what would make me enjoy gaming more. Having more time to game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Yep.
It's the only thing we can't buy more of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then a couple more points in here. You had 0.5 time and lifestyle strategy. Where does gaming fit best in real life? Handheld at night, docked on weekends, short sessions long. So for me, I've been noticing lately that the most consistent time is short sessions, handheld at night in bed after I'm done with all my work stuff. Sometimes I can get an hour, a couple hours in, and that's all I'm going to get. I got to be realistic. I got to be up in the morning, got to deal with the kids, got to go back to work, all that stuff. So that's like the most consistent time that I can get it in. But there are times, of course, where I'll plan a little bit ahead. My kids are older, where I'm like, hey, this upcoming Sunday, I'm deciding I'm not making a video. So, Yulia's busy. You're going to do something? Cool. We're going to get a 6-hour session in. It's happening today. We're going for something good, something hardcore. That's where I get my JRPG time in, if I'm completely honest. I can never pick up and play a JRPG for an hour and be satisfied. It's not how it works with JRPGs in me. So that does still happen, but that's not most common. That's something I sometimes got to plan a little bit ahead to pull off. Especially when it's a 100-hour game and I'm trying to get like it actually beaten. I got to plan like multiple weekends of this, but it definitely does happen. I told Yulia 2 things the other day. Here's what I need to decompress from everything that happened. I need 12 hours where everyone leaves me alone and I just sleep. Okay, that's it. I just nothing but sleep. Then I need the following 12 hours immediately after that, where everyone leaves me the fuck alone and I just play video games. I'm probably not going to get either one of these things, but I keep hoping because that would really help me decompress. That said, so yeah, handheld at night. I would say I wish I got to play my Switch 2 docked more. I really don't get to do it as often as I'd like. This is a nice TV behind me. I'd love to dock on it and play. That's where the long sessions come in, and I don't get the long sessions very often. Sometimes there's dot play where I'm live streaming the games, but I don't really count that. Then there's the personal 2026 gaming rule. It says each host shares one rule they want to follow this year. Some of the examples were don't buy a game unless I'm playing it immediately. That's a pretty good rule. Finish what I start. Okay. Unless it's not truly fun. Got to throw in I ain't going to finish a game I hate. No more than 2 active games at a time. Well, that's a good rule. 1 retro game per month. I'll beat 5 games from my backlog before buying anything new. That's like a challenge right there. That's the backlog challenge. Man, a rule that I'm actually going to follow or want to follow. I mean, it says want, not going to, I suppose. I'm gonna treat it as going to follow. I want to make a challenge for myself here.
All right.
I want to beat 1 game a month.
That's a great goal.
Like actually beat it. Doesn't be 100%. I know me. 1 game a month. I would like to actually beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm good. I went through everything. Finally, someone read the doc.
Yeah, very nice. Eric, you want to go?
Yeah, no, basically, yeah, I'm just hoping to finish up a couple games that I'm currently in the middle of. I think I got 4 that I'm in the middle of, unfortunately. So I think that my next step is just kind of getting through those 4. I'm really close to completing Age of Imprisonment. Then I think next one I'm gonna go back through DK, and then back to Echoes of Wisdom, and then possibly Pokemon. So I'm just kind of getting through kind of the games I'm kind of part way to halfway through already, and the Pokemon's really questionable, but if I have time, it'll be kind of the game I'm getting back to eventually. Yeah, I don't have anything on the horizon that like I'm absolutely needing to purchase. So it's going to give me a little bit more time to kind of clear my backlog a little bit of the games that I'm, at least partway through. So that'll be nice. They all the ones that I'm kind of partway through right now kind of all came out at the same time. It was like I started one, and then the next one came out, and I was like, ooh, okay, I want to play that game. Then it's like, okay, that one came out, and I want to play that one now, even though I was like halfway through all of them. So, it'll be nice to kind of give myself a little bit of time here, because like I said, there's not much that I'm absolutely having to purchase at this point. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think I'm kind of just road mapping that, and we'll see what actually gets announced over the next few months or so. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm able to stick to my roadmap. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is just kind of be able to get my at least 3 of those games fully completed, and then I can kind of look around to see what else I want to play. So,
all right, that's good. It's a good game plan. I like it. Bird, do you want to run back through that and
yeah,
and then I'll go. Cool.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Let me start from the check. Yes, I've accepted that as far as the reality check, I've accepted that a backlog's never going to end. It's always going to grow. It's a never-ending list. I'll always love video games unless like in this dystopian future, video games turn into just like permanent games of service slop. I'm always going to be a gamer. So I imagine my optimism that the list is never ending. Let's see. One game at a time versus Hopper Life. I already talked about this. I've been living the game Hopper Life, but I'm really ready to get into the one game at a time, more disciplined approach, more committed to finishing games before jumping on to something new. Unless, of course, with the exception, I'm on a Nintendo podcast. Like Nate kind of mentioned, if a Zelda drops and I'm in the middle of something else, obviously I'm gonna jump on that Zelda. I'm gonna be discussing that Zelda or that 3D Mario on the podcast. I'm not gonna be like, I'm only halfway through Trails of the Sky Chapter 2, guys. Sorry. So there will be exceptions, but it's gonna be a lot more of a disciplined approach in 2026 than it was last year. Series playthroughs is gonna be a theme for me. I have a feeling. Just because there's a lot of great series that I either love but just haven't played every entry, or series that I've heard so much about, or they're right up my alley, or they've been recommended to me throughout the years that I've always wanted to get around to. They're kind of blind spots in my gaming history, like the Undertales, games like that and stuff. So there is going to be kind of a franchise marathon theme as well going on this year for me. You know what? We should follow up at the end of the year this year and say,
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, ask each other how we did. Did we fail? Did we completely?
Well, we should probably hold each other accountable throughout the year.
Yeah.
So we can stay on track too.
Yeah, I like that. Quality over quantity. This one, I don't know how to answer this because incredible games are so subjective, and I really like indie. So people might consider like what's an incredible game. They might think of like your Zeldas, your God of Wars, your big, your big juggernaut AAA titles. a game like, I don't know, Sea of Stars, for me, that's an incredible must play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And this is another one where, like, just like, we talk about like number scores. There are games that are maybe get review as a 7 that to me are an 8 or 9, or games that review at an 8 that are maybe a 9 or 10 for me. So, I mean, of course, everything that I'm going to prioritize is going to be stuff that I'm either passionate about or really, really want to play. So I guess 10 incredible games. But everything I play with the hope that it's going to be incredible. Anytime there's a sequel, I always hope the sequel's better. I never have the mentality it'll never be as good as the first. It's like, I hope it's even better. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that mentality ever. But I know there's a lot of people. Most people, I think, have that mentality, but I've never thought that way. Yeah.
Time and lifestyle strategy. Let me see. Where does gaming fit best in real life? Handheld at night, docked weekends, short sessions, first long binges. Mine's docked nights when the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
And then weekends is mostly handheld play. But I think I just need to find that balance, especially with work. I think I've got to find that balance. But I think even if I could, an hour before bed, even handheld in bed, my wife, she falls asleep before me almost every night. So maybe I could start regularly doing that last hour, just chip away at something, because not everything I'm going to be playing is going to be, even though I love RPGs, they're not all 100+ hours. There are smaller RPGs. And then personal 2026 gaming role. Let me see. Don't play a game unless I'm playing immediately. Oof. Yeah, this is very telling about how bad I've done at being disciplined or like prioritizing my backlog, is all of these sound very restrictive and painful to me. That's how you know you did a bad job in the previous year. Man, I feel like finish what I start unless it's truly not fun. That's a good goal for anyone. Because, like, regardless if you're going to play a second game or a third game simultaneous, you should finish what you play unless you don't enjoy it. If you like the game, why not finish it? So that's a great rule. Finish what you start. I also really like no more than 2 active games at a time. Those are the 2 that I think I can adhere to the most. Maybe 1 retro game per month, but I guess that depends on what 2 games I'm focused on. If Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 comes out, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of hours. I mean, you just talked about how he's put 250 into Rebirth, so
I don't think it comes out this year.
Yeah, probably not.
You know when I think it comes out?
Hmm.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Roger's Base here. I was listening to his predictions on Monday. I was at the gym, had the headphones in. It was like over an hour long. Like, oh, this is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll just listen to the whole thing. And he has such a great prediction that when he said that, I'm like, that's the date. That's the date. 7/7/2027. Done. Done deal. Done deal. Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 7/7/27. Like,
yeah, 3 7s in there.
Yeah, like that's got to be it. But please keep going. I just had to share that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Roger is dead on with that.
So I think what I'm gonna set for my goal is finish what I start, no more than 2 active games at a time, and when possible, 1 retro game a month. But that's gonna be like the variable goal, because that could change month to month depending on what I'm working on. And I will say, Prime mentioned like buying a game and not playing it when you buy it. I think he mentioned that. I'll be honest. I actually, when he said that, I felt ashamed because you'd be surprised how many games are on my gaming multi-console. Like there's a PlayStation games and Nintendo games that are in my shelves that still have like the cellophane on them. Like more than I'm proud of. I mean, this is excluding like a collector's item that you bought just to have as a collector's item. You know, this is like
those don't
this
count.
is just like a right. This is like just like a game that I bought. You know, that's just like I've got a bunch of them. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy anything that I don't want to play.
Yeah,
That's
you know
true.
what? You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Right? Like there's been times where I've been asked, do I give bad reviews? And it's like, well, look, I'm not trying to play shitty games, dude. I'm not trying to waste my money. Like if you're craving pizza, do you try and find the worst pizza place?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it says a lot about my eye for what is a good game.
Yeah.
Like, it shows I'm batting like 1,000% because these reviews are obviously they're honest. I don't get paid for this. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that you bring that up because I feel like so many people play games and then they don't like them. They complain about them. It's like, don't you know what you like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where's your judgment at?
It's we're privileged because it's not like it was in the 90s where you had to base your purchase off the game cover and the description
a few
screenshots
on the back.
Like really cool concept art on the front that look it's like an 8-bit game, but it's got like the super detailed like hand-drawn cover art and you're like, oh, this cover art's sick. It's got a ripped wizard on it.
What the fuck?
And like a maiden in the background with a loincloth, and you're like, this game looks sick.
Dude, you know what one of the worst box arts was? I gotta find this. Hold on. Here, continue going. I'll find it. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much it for me.
All right, I gotta just show this real quick. Worst box art ever. One sec. And you guys are probably gonna remember this box art. I'm gonna say that. You'll probably remember it. Probably seeing it on a shelf and thinking like, yeah, I'm never gonna rent this game.
Yes, I remember that.
Right? Like what?
I do remember this. It's so bad.
Yeah, was that your thought? Was like, why would I ever rent this game? Phalanx. Like, what is that? What does the name mean? Why is there an old dude?
Dude, I love too like the hyperspeed shootout in space, but there's just like an old redneck with a banjo on the cover. It's so great.
I would almost.
He looks like old man Marley.
About
right? He looks like back in '58. He murdered his whole family and half the people on his block.
He looks like an animatronic that belongs at the beginning of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's we should ask Kiwi Talks to interview Kemko and ask him what was your mindset going into this box art? Like, walk us through it.
Inspiration.
Yeah, walk us through this, man, because like to this day, that's one that I can't figure it out. You know, like I'll give a pass to Mega Man 1's box art Like, I understand what you're going for there. And, it's just, just doesn't look right, but I get it. It's fine. This, that phalanx, I'll never understand that. Anyways, did you hit all the points? You got a few
Yes.
more?
No, I think that was all of them. I want to share one box art. This is what came to mind when I was talking about.
Okay.
Hold on.
Box arts, man. They never get old for me.
I shouldn't have said wizard, but but I'm very nostalgic for the days of going into like a Blockbuster or a Game Crazy and just like, or even like the EB Games and GameStops back in the day, and just like that was your way of seeing what's out, what's new, what's out there, and just like looking at all the box arts, like man.
Before we had computers in our hands, right? Because classic.
Yeah,
Golden
like
Axe.
you'd see something like that, and obviously like the graphics. Well, I guess maybe a little bit more so in this case, but you'd see box art like that, and you'd be like, "This game looks freaking sick." But it really was just the covers badass. But
yeah, dude,
I missed the old game art. It was I don't know. Some of I see covers nowadays. Some of them are not very good. I'm like,
No, and it makes it easy to spot the ones that are great, like the Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 HD 2D remakes.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful.
They went out of their way to hire this special illustrator. I remember reading an article on it from Square, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like that's awesome. That's what I want. We need more of that. All right, so let me go through this then. I'm the last one here on this. Okay, so. Gaming game plan for 2026. Backlogs, burnout, playing smarter. I don't have any burnout. I'm not going to. When I worked in the restaurant industry, I was always told I was going to get burnt out, and that once you manage and you start going to other locations and you start dealing with all this BS, you're going to get burnt out. I never did. It was always great. And then mortgage, same thing. Mortgage was even worse.
You thought they were talking about Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, right. I'm like, sign me up. I love that game. But mortgage was the same thing. They said, people who don't last long in the industry, you're lucky to last 2 years, and you burn out. Now here we are. We're talking about video games, bro. Why would I stop? Like, I get to play video games. I get to do this. This isn't something I have to do. I get to do it. So burnout's never going to be a thing. Backlog's always going to be a thing. I'm not going to pretend it's not going to be a thing. I've joked about it before. I know it's a morbid joke, but a lot of that will be there when I die. And hopefully whoever I will it to, right now it'll probably be my godson. Hopefully he'll finish the job for me. Because there's gonna be a lot of unfinished files, right? That's just the reality of it. Obviously, I still do have plans for like backlog stuff. I have an Excel sheet with the games that I received review codes for. I want to make good on those, obviously, because that's the right thing to do. Like, these are games I wanted to play, and so I want to get those games done. And I think I'll be able to. But at the same time, I think I have 5 or 6 games right now that I just got codes for in the last, I think, since Monday. So I'm just like, shit. I had a plan. What?
Stash, I'm so sorry to pause you. Do you have an LED dock for your Switch? I just noticed that.
Yeah.
What the heck? What is that?
Yeah, it's LED dock. It's
I love that.
It's by this company.
Did you make a video on it? Is there a video link?
No.
Oh,
There you go.
that's cool.
It can display all sorts of different colors. There's my hand. You know, whatever you want. It can do like apparently three or 400 colors. You know,
Nice. Does it,
they
do
advertise
purples?
crazy stuff. Who knows?
I like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I saw it online. I was like, this is cool. I like this. All right, where was I? Okay. So yeah, backlogs, yeah. That's my game plan. But again, I just got a bunch of codes and embargoes. Like these are for games that aren't out yet. So obviously embargoes are playing a role now. So those have to take priority because of that. Which again, that's normal. And these are games that obviously I want it anyways. Gaming habits, quality over quantity. I think I do a good job with this. Got to put the stash in the will too.
I had to share that.
Yeah.
It's such a great comment.
I'll stash it in there for sure.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So gaming habits, quality over quantity. Yeah. Look, guys, if you watch my most anticipated games of 2026, there's like 110 games in there. And then I talk about like some gaming anniversaries at the end and some things I expect. But the thing is that there's so many games that we don't know of yet. There's huge gaps in the release calendar. Like for example, this is a really big one. From March 31st, we're getting Edge of Memories. It's by Midgar Studio. Midgar, Final Fantasy VII. Really high pedigree development studio as far as your staff there. Really excited for it. It comes out March 31st. Then we don't have a new game until Pragmata on April 24th. So 25 days go by with nothing. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Then we get Saros on April 30th. And then we don't have another game till May 27th. So you're telling me 28 days are going to go by? Obviously not. You know, like there's my point is that even with the games we have dated, there's massive, almost like month-long gaps with nothing. And you know that's all going to be filled in. So I'm not only talking about like quarter 3 and 4, the second half of the year. There's stuff like there's almost month-long gaps in March, April, and May with no games. So it's not. So when you talk about quality over quantity, yeah, everything I'm shooting for quality on every shot. I'm trying to make every shot out here. That's the point. Is that I'll play the games and I'll tell you if they're worth it. And if you're going to like it or not based on what these games are similar to, right? Like I always do in my reviews. So yeah, that's the plan. I do have a plan for the backlog. The reality is though that it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there looking at you. Just have to deal with it. Just have to get over it mentally. Let's see. What's the biggest backlog killer? New releases, review obligations, or FOMO? New releases and review obligations for me. Because if it was FOMO, I would have played certain games already. But I haven't. Because of review obligations. And review obligations tied directly into, of course, new releases. One game at a time versus game hopper life. Yeah, I mean, I beat the games, but I have to hop around. And obviously I can't be playing these multiplayer games that have no end. I can't be playing Animal Crossing. I can't be doing this stuff. I won't get nearly as much done. But Michaela, like I said, she'll be playing Animal Crossing. So I'll check in on her and see how she likes, and I'll keep trying to talk her into reviewing it. There's certain games she plays I don't have time for. I'm like, babe, I really need you to review these games on the channel. I'll walk you through the review process. We'll start doing this. I really want her to. Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. You know, she's got the update. She was playing the game obviously before that. There's just a handful of games that she's played, and this would like be perfect for her. So I'm still working on that. It's gonna happen. All right. Does one game at a time improve enjoyment or make gaming feel like work? I mean, that's how I always play anyways. Gaming will never feel like work. You cannot allow that to happen. You just can't. As soon as that thought enters your head, you have to cut it off. Remind yourself that you get to do this. That's the biggest thing. I've been asked that a lot too. If my outlook's changed on gaming now that I'm doing this, and now that I have like review crunch. Because like again, I just got hit with a boatload of game review codes, and I know of a couple more coming. And I was hoping I would have gotten some of them earlier. I really was. And some I did. Most I didn't. And I'm like, here we go again. It was like December 4th all over again. There was a handful of games I was working on during that time frame. Like Metroid, Octopath, Kingdoms of the Dome, handful of other games.
Yeah, it sounds like that happens a lot. I'm being sent a review code for an indie game. They let me know they'd be sending me a code. It comes out at the end of the month, but they also said that they don't have any codes to give right now. So just keep an eye out. Because there's some more. Huh?
You have to let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know which game. I'm sure it's one that you're reviewing. It's on your video. I watched your most anticipated videos. It's on there. The game.
Okay. Is it this month?
It's this month.
Okay, I know what it is. Yeah, it's soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I know what it is. All right. Let's see. Series playthroughs. Look, I don't have time to do that as much as I'd love to. I will say this. I got a review code for Trails in the Sky. I'd got one when it came out, and I haven't been able to get to it. It's like eating away at me. I've played a little bit, but like I have a lot to go. And I want to be on that path so I can hit the trail when part 2 comes out, which obviously is coming out in the fall. So I want to be already on that path to hit that trail. So I have to beat the game at some point. If any of these gaps in the calendar actually pan out, that would be a great time to do it. But I doubt that's going to happen. They're going to get filled in. Let's see. You know, obviously my goal is to review more games this year, which by default, that means I'm going to play and beat more games. And it's going to be really hard. But I really want to. And then time plus lifestyle strategy. Where does gaming fit best to all the time? I mean, as much as I can. You guys all know that it's a lot of work, though, running your own channel. And then the amount of hours you have to put into the game. And then trying to summarize sometimes 100-hour experience into a video that is spoiler-free, respectful of the viewer, doesn't waste their time, tells them enough to know if they're going to want to buy it or not and to get excited for it. But it also can't be too long because of the attention span of people today. Because like there's plenty of times I'll be writing a review and I want to talk about more, but I'm like, I can't because if I do, people will get scared. They'll see how long it is. You know, if it's 14 or 15 minutes versus like 10 or 11, people are like, all right, I can do 10. They'll see 14 or 15. I can't do that. I can't do 15. I'm out. I'm sorry. I got to find a shorter review. Like literally that's how it works. And they'll scroll on by. So it's tough. That's a tough one. I want to play more handheld because doing so will help me chip away more at reviews. And I got the Steam Deck that came in today, so I got to get that all set up. But part of getting that was obviously a business choice.
Which one did you get? Did you get the basic one? Did you get the OLED? I'm curious.
OLED for sure. OLED 1 terabyte. And I got a 1 terabyte SD card as well to put in that baby.
So my buddy Colin Colinius Maximus, who was on the podcast last week, he got a Steam Deck when it was brand new. I've played a little bit of it at his place. I liked it, but it's a little bit I don't know. It doesn't feel as good in the hands as Switch or Switch 2 to me because it's a bit bulkier. And like the pad was weird, but I've been thinking about getting one, even though I've been apprehensive in the past based off of, I was hoping Steam Machine was going to be the one for me, especially for like reviews and stuff, because I know you know this, but at least as far as like review codes go on my end, I've only had a small handful sent my way. It's usually like Steam's the guarantee, and it's usually when I ask for a Nintendo code, it's we'll try, or we don't have any Nintendo codes, but we've got Steam.
Yep.
So I was hoping the Steam Machine would be the device for me, but if it's anywhere near what it's going to be priced at, I'm thinking just for like time purposes and money purposes, maybe the Steam Deck is a better option. Let me know what you think of it, Stash, when you got some time on it. I'm really curious.
I will, and I've researched stuff. Like I'll be installing Decky, which is a plugin, and I'll be installing the frame gen, which allows you to improve frame rate on games dramatically. I was talking about it in chat earlier, but I've probably seen at least 100 games on YouTube, like demonstrations of a game going from 30 to 35 frames per second to over 60 using the frame gen. And it's a free, or the Decky app is $6.99, I think. But that's it for lifetime. And the plugin is a frame gen plugin, and it looks simple to use. And to me, it looks like the trade-off is totally worth it. You know, like the resolution may dip a little bit, but on that screen, it's like you don't even see it. You really don't even see it. And in turn, you're getting 60 FPS. I've seen 70, 80 frames. I'm like, this is good. This is good to see. I like this. I like having the control over that. So that is why I got it, though, because of the review codes as well. And also you can get them considerably earlier on Steam. Sometimes weeks, month before the game even comes out. I have some that are like that right now. So I'm super excited. And I did get the refurbished model, which I was excited to get because one, when they come in stock, they sell out in like 2 or 3 minutes. And I just so happened to see when Wario64 posted on Twitter And I'm like, it had been like 6 minutes on my timeline. I'm like, it's probably sold out. I'll click it anyways and see. And I'm like, oh my God, there's an OLED 1 terabyte. Like that's the one that sells out immediately. And so I jumped on it. I'm like, screw it. And I got it. So it's something I've been thinking about for a while.
Are you getting the dock or the cable that whatever? I forget how Steam Deck allows you to dock to a TV.
So I still have the BenQ GR10 that I reviewed, which is for Steam Deck. I used it for other means. But yeah, it's built for Steam Deck to do 4K 120, or it can do 1080p 360. I'm like, guys, that's great that you overspec this, but come on. That's not, no one's doing that. I'm not going to talk about this in the video.
Frames per second. So stupid.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, so I have that, but JSOX is sending me, they already sent it. I already got a tracking. They send me a whole package of goodies. So I'm like, cool. One of them's a dock, but yeah, I'm going to be able to use the base Steam Deck for probably like, I don't know, till the weekend. And I presume everything's going to arrive before this time next week. So I'll be able to test it out base and then test it out with accessories and, you know, not bases, but grips, cases, see how it improves. But yeah, the OLED Steam Deck was obviously, since it's refurbished, it was less. And if you read on Valve's website, they're very clear in their wording that it's just as good as a brand new one. Oftentimes, it's better, the refurbished one, because of what they do to make it certified. I'm like, okay. And it's considerably cheaper. I'm totally in. So if you're going to get one ever, that's what you want to do. Is I would probably say that is get a refurbished one for sure. It's like a couple $100 cheaper. All right. So outside of that, guys, let's see. How do we avoid gaming becoming a stress activity instead of fun? Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. You just don't let it happen. That's how you avoid it. And then personal 2026 gaming rule. Let's see. I like the one retro game per month. I like that. And I like don't buy a game unless I'm playing it immediately. I've been a lot better with that, actually.
I can't do that because some games I like to get collectors or like the special editions. And if I don't get it right away, I might not be able to get it ever.
I think that's
at
fair.
retail. Yeah.
I think excluding that would be the goal, right?
Sure.
Because if, like, I'm not going to buy a game and just throw it in my backlog. I haven't been doing that for a while now. So a lot better there. But yeah, that's it. That's the topic.